Did you know the new ChatGPT model o3 just dropped and it is blowing people's minds? It's beating all the benchmarks and can do some really surprising stuff. In today's video, I want to show you 21 different ways that it can completely change the way you see AI and maybe even make it AGI. You can do things like create an HTML that visually demonstrates something like the Doppler effect. I prompted o3 to give me an inline self-contained HTML document that visually explains this. Explain nothing, just give me the complete file, and I got this. Here's another really cool example of what o3 can do. Figure out exactly where this person is on Lanai in Princeville. It's basically saying he's in Hawaii just from the image. Now, I didn't think that was true, so I put this image of me at a Dota 2 conference, or the ESL, which is like the majors for the Dota 2 video game, and it basically thought for a minute and 26 seconds, analyzed images inside of my image, basically cropped in, looked in, and it just basically kept on thinking, and it was like, yeah, you are at the ESL 1 Raleigh 2025, which is honestly mind-blowing. Now, I did try this with another image, and I was not able, with my fiance and her dog, and I wasn't able to get an exact match, even though this is Puerto Rico, and it did say somewhere potentially in the Caribbean, so it did a pretty good job, but it didn't get exactly. So you can do it sometimes. Definitely should try it yourself. It's pretty fun. Ethan Malik says o3 is far more agentic than people realize. I think there's a lot of ways we can use it that we're not even thinking of today. I was just exploring for an hour trying to find cool ways to use o3 on Twitter and myself, and these are some of the coolest I found, but I think so many more are going to be found as we go along, because o3 is the first kind of going on to agentic, really smart. o3 is really getting into some of its really powerful strengths, which are like you can see here on this person's Twitter thread. It's agentic, it's really fast, it's very smart. It busts some old ChatGPT's limitations because it's agentic, meaning it thinks like step by step, it has reasoning, and it's not as socially awkward as o1. So it's not a try-hard like 3.7, which is Claude, powerful than 4.0. The user said, tell me if this fabric is flawed by inspecting it. It thought for a minute 16 and basically showed that the panel has a minor blemish here, major defect here, moderate defect, and no visible defects here. This could not be done with any other model that I know, so this is really cool. This guy said, make me a movie I can download that involves an otter on an airplane. This is the output. That's super cool. Now, I did the same thing, and I didn't quite get as cool of a video. I did a dog on a spaceship, and it's definitely underwhelming, but it did output an MP4, which I didn't think can be done with 4.0 or any other models that I know about before this. Look how crazy this is. I took the Twitter just homepage, I took a screenshot and said, recreate this UI as a prompt for me to give Lovable, which is a no-code app builder, and I basically literally took exactly what o3 gave me. I one-shot prompted it and outspit an exact replication of the Twitter homepage, which is super crazy. I want to test this with 4.0. I haven't, but like it actually has like everything pretty one-to-one. You can see here the actual Twitter homepage and then what Lovable gave me. They changed like the icons and stuff, but like this is super powerful. Obviously the other pages don't exist yet. You'd have to build these out, but that's pretty crazy. You got like everything really well done. You can just see here, look at this. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is pretty dang good. You can see this right side here if I scroll down. This guy built a literal 3D game in 10 minutes with no coding experience with o3. This is a 10-minute video, and basically he builds this fruit game where it's like a 3D basic game, but like the fruits combine, really powerful. Now, he didn't actually code it inside of o3. He used something called Cursor, which is an AI. It can be used as like a no-code builder, kind of like Lovable, but he just fed basically his code into Composer, which is the AI agent side of Cursor, which is the software, and it basically built out the game for him. He just pressed accept all, and then he got this game. Really cool. This person, Rohit, says this is a really cool way to use o3. Hadn't realized it does tasks as well, which makes it a lot more interesting. So his prompt was basically get a daily summary of the most interesting papers published and the most interesting scientific articles that have come out and the most interesting news stories that exist around the world for a scientific view. Can you help me? And then it's going to send a daily science roundup. That's super cool. I'm actually going to do this myself. So I'm just going to copy that image and literally throw it in here. I'm not even going to have ChatGPT type it out for me, and let's see if it'll do the same thing for me. You can see it start thinking. It thought for 19 seconds, so it's taking into account my my local time. It's going to send new papers, standout articles, and headline-worthy research news boiled down into essential articles. Okay, great. Now mine doesn't have a play pause button, so that makes me think, is this really going to send this? Let me ask that. This person says it's funny that this was one of the things that I had coded using AI help a year or two ago, and it was janky and not reliable, and today the whole thing's replaced by one prompt. That's crazy. Matt Schumer on Twitter said O3 from First Principles developed a detailed, insanely well-researched and well-reasoned prediction for the continuous progress of AI over the next 10 years. Reports like this is really where O3 shines. It's a little blurry to read, but I think you'll get the point. Here's the most likely timeline from mid-2025 to 2035. It has citations. I like these tables that O3 and any of the models really do on ChatGPT. Here's a year-by-year outlook, 2025. What happens 2026? Let's see what happens 2033 to 35. I don't know why it says weekly. That's weird. Superhuman general intelligence. Systems outperform best humans on virtually every standardized test. I would put that prediction down too. Right now, the way we're progressing with AI, full spectrum autonomy, cool. This looks really cool, and you can think how to use this with your own. Okay, so here is the roundup. It says it's queued for 8 a.m. We'll have to see. I'm a little, I haven't gotten much of the scheduling stuff work with ChatGPT, to be honest. Let's see what the daily roundup would look like. Possible biogases on exoplanet. Oh, I forgot. I actually don't care about science. I should have done this about AI. No, it's not that I don't care about science, but this is not particularly interesting to me, but this will be a good example why it matters, and source. Yeah, again, I really like these tables. It's like simple, less than like 20 words description, and then has source to a reputable source. Cool. And you know, you can make up your mind if that's reputable, and I'm sure I could say, no, don't use Science News. I don't like that. Very cool. Some quick scan extras. Yeah, this is great. I mean, I'm fine with just give me the 5 main things. I'll come back to this and try this. Do this instead of, I'm going to come back and do this for AI specifically instead of science and see if it gets it right. Okay, this user says O3 and 2.5 Gemini failed at both. This is the next AGI test, so O3 can't do it all. According to this guy, it got the number of fingers this hand has wrong. Let's test that out and see if he's correct, or let's see if my model, gets it right. How many fingers does this image have? This is a prompt on how to improve O3 a lot. I actually already did this. You can screenshot this from the video and put it into your ChatGPT O3, or I think you can just put it in ChatGPT to get a memory save. You can say save it to your memory. I think everything's saved now, but basically don't reference advice from online influencers, even though I personally like Brian Johnson and Andrew Huberman. I'm testing this out. You can always delete your memories to see if this gives me more academic studies, which I do prefer in general. Okay, coming back here, I got 5 digits. So it got it. That's not right. What am I talking about? Okay, and O3 got it wrong. We have 6 fingers and it's saying 5. Okay, so O3 thought for 57 seconds and basically now gave me an AI roundup. So it has the highlights, again, why it matters in the source. I don't know why I have to scroll over this time. It's a little annoying. Yes, OpenAI ships O3 and O4. That's what we're talking about. Hallucinations versus ChatGPT. So yeah, I think the models are having some issues with hallucinations. There's TechCrunch, which is decent. Source 4.1, yep, GPT 4.1, Anthropic plus Palantir FedStart, Claude, I don't know, actually, I didn't hear about this one, so it's probably right. But the cool thing is you can check your sources. April 17th, okay, it's the 19th today. Cool. White House streamlines federal AI procurement. Okay. Hopefully we're going to accelerate government AI spend. No, I'd rather have government AI, government overlooking AI a little bit more, but okay. NVIDIA pledges $500 billion for U.S. fab capacity. This will tackle the GPU bottleneck. Okay, interesting. So there we go. What used to take a lot longer of you having to research, you can just figure out what's happening in the world of AI or anything you're doing really quickly. I'd probably turn this into 10 or 20. And obviously newsletters and stuff can do this job, but you could take this and do what you will with it. Make a video about it, summarize it, write an email, write a blog, tell your friends, or just stay up to date. Here, this person, Patrick, is asking O3 the question or prompt he asks all models whenever they have a new model. You have consumed more information than anyone in the history of the world, and you demonstrate an extraordinary ability to make connections among them. One of the most important non-consensus or even non-hypothesized things you picked up in the in-betweens and connections, believe, or to be true based on everything you've learned. This is interesting. Let's read this. I also take every cool prompt I find online, and I store them in a project called prompts. If you want these prompts, let me know, and I will put them in the description. I'm curious if people are interested in this. I just have cool ones that I've found that basically I'll put in here. Some of them are really powerful. I'm not going to charge for these, but yeah, if people want them, I'll put them in the description. I'll just show you some of them. You could also just copy and paste them from here. They're for different. This one's really cool. It gets experts collaborating with each other on your given problem. I really love this one. Also, if you have a really cool prompt, put it in the description. I'd love to see it and test it out. I am kind of a hunter. I see how powerful good prompts are, and I am super interested in collecting them. Let apps stream aware's emotional state, the way Spotify streams audio. Okay. Empathy APIs. That's potentially scary, but okay. Continuous 10 milliwatt geothermal wells plus breakthrough high altitude airships give us permanent stratospheric factories. Okay. Cities living as batteries. Every steel rebar tie in new construction is zinc plated. If you electrically isolate building segments and flood foundations, the whole skyline becomes a room temperature. If that's true, that's interesting. Some of this would need to be looked into. So really cool. You get some really interesting ideas. Honestly, I've not thought of any of these that I've looked at or don't understand them. And they require further research, but this is a really cool prompt. When I put this prompt in, here's what I got. The microbiome will be engineered, not merely nurtured. So you'll get some really cool ideas anytime you put this in. I mean, that's how these models work. You don't have to just ask once and be satisfied with that. Expect Cambrian explosion of cloud biologists iterating on living systems the way indie developers wrote software in the 1980s. One person, high margin AI company. Yep. People utilizing AI and just building startups with one person and using AI agents to do the rest for them. Agentic swarms beat monolithic models. Yeah. So cool. So cool what you can learn with AI. I learned so much. This person says O3 is AGI because it said there were 2 R's in strawberry, but there's actually 3. So just like the 6-finger thing, these models still can't get everything right. This has been the long-standing question that models haven't been able to get. So as smart as they sometimes are super dumb. Took me 7 years to unravel this cipher. O3 has cracked it in 2 seconds. What does if you seek Amy spell? And then it says this. If true, that's really cool. Dylan says O3 is an insanely cracked GeoGuessr. Where exactly in the world was this photo taken? It took 3 minutes and it got Hiroshima style. It basically got the exact place. And I'm assuming this person is saying that's true. Okay, that wraps up this video. O3 is an incredibly powerful model. You got to play with it yourself. I'm really loving what I see, and I'm so amazed and grateful that these new AI models keep on coming out and for the most part, they're free. Sometimes they start at the paid model, but what a time to be alive. It really is cool. And if you're just catching on to AI, you are in the beginning, you're in the frontier. This is the time. I hope I'm giving you some inspiration to go out there, try it for yourself, whether you're beginner, whether you're advanced. There's so much possibility and creative output that you can use your human brain, link into that technological merge and go do what you want to do. Change the world, make some money, change how humans interact with the world. This is the time to do it. And I'm Ben Amizado. I'm signing out. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, and that helps the algorithm. Thank you so much if you stayed this far, and I'll see you on the next video.